Welcome to the Achievers podcast. My today's guest, Alex Svetlakau, is managing director from New York City. So that's, I think, everything I'm going to say about him myself. I let Alex introduce himself and tell us a bit about what he's doing and what his role is within the company that he's working for. So, Alex, thank you very much for being here with me on the show. And first and foremost, well, tell us what it is that you do.
Thank you so much, Michal. Thank you for having me, and I guess thanks all the audience out there. Uh, so I specialize in sales of commercial properties, investment properties, throughout New York. I am managing director at Cushman & Wakefield. It's a global, worldwide known company. My role is marketing exclusive listings for sale. I market the property, trying to procure buyers for listings that I'm marketing for sale. So that's in a nutshell what I do. Market the properties and find buyers for my
Fantastic. And
clients.
thank you very much. And well, guys, you know what they say, if you can do it in New York, you can do it anywhere. So Alex is in New York and he's definitely a busy person because we're trying to get together for quite a while now. And finally, we are here today. If you're listening to it, you don't know that Alex actually is sitting in the car now and he's utilizing his time the best he can to have a chance to share his experience, what I really appreciate. So once again, thank you for having here and well, if for being here. And if you could please tell us something now about yourself. Who are you as a person? How would you describe yourself?
Great question, actually. Well, I'm a Gemini.
So
According
do
to
I.
horoscope, so so I have a lot of personalities. I'm wearing a lot of hats, so to speak. I am a professional in real estate world. I am formerly a junior tennis player. I was a national
Great.
tennis team player for country of Belarus, and I was teaching tennis for quite some time before I got involved with real estate, to support myself and the family. So now I'm successfully selling buildings in New York and playing tennis, living a nice life, so to speak, working hard, having goals set, for the brighter future, and
Fantastic.
just trying to really be as productive as possible and enjoy every moment of my life journey.
And that's what I like to hear. Thank you very much for that. Well, we can clearly see that there is a plan, there is dedication. Whatever you do, when you're in it, you're in it. And even if you do more things, you still do it the way you enjoy it. That's what I like. And that's what I think everyone who's listening to this show expects from life. The thing is, it's not always that easy. There are things on the way that slow us down, makes us turn around and go different direction, and just make our life more challenging and overwhelming. So we are feel this pressure, especially nowadays. And well, Alex, you are already there. Can you tell me, please, how do you deal with pressure?
Well, for myself, and again, everyone might have their own channels to get it out. There were many stages in my life, where I find different activities, or whether it's pleasure or sports or just reading. In today's mindset of mine, so to speak, I enjoy cooking. That takes mind off things in the evening, like decompress and stuff. So I like to come home
Perfect.
and cook a meal for me, myself, and my wife and my children. So that's very enjoyable. I like to cook different things and look up recipes and go shopping, buy groceries, and then looking forward to actually prepare a nice meal. for the family. And I discovered that as I'm cooking, as I'm preparing everything, it really takes the edge off of my whatever problems there are. You want to win the business, things don't go
Mm.
your way, you're losing business. The economy, the markets are upside down. People don't like you, and so much issues that hit you all at once. So you need to very often to detach yourself from daily stress, and just have your own space. So for me, it's cooking in the evenings, kind of to ease my mind off. In the morning, to psych myself into the work mode, get all focused and zoned in. I like to work out. I go to the gym 3, 4 times a week, and I work out. I like to do it in the morning. Around 6:30 or so, I go to the gym and I work out. I like to play tennis. That also kind of takes my mind off things on weekends, and also play with friends. So that kind of, I'm getting a cardio in, and at the same time trying to have some fun hitting a tennis ball. So I would
Definitely.
say this three is a top three things for me to take the edge off. And of course there is, maybe you have a drink or two or three, but that's that usually I discovered later in life. It has more negative impact thereafter, as opposed to, as you enjoying,
Yes.
an alcoholic beverage. You don't
And
feel as
I
well.
think, oh, sorry.
So
I think
that's
it's
that's
having a drink is more like a social engagement.
correct.
Yes. Mm. That's
Y-
that's what I hear a lot, and it doesn't have to be two or three. It could be one for the whole evening, as long as it's in a good company, isn't it?
True. I mean, one drink really won't do much to you, but
No.
but I feel like the best way to like really uh detach yourself and be good is for me personally, is those three: is workout, is cooking, it's playing tennis. Obviously spending time with family, but it becomes more like, um you have a family, and you obviously want the best for them, and you care for them, and with all the busy life, it is
Hmm.
very hard to find quality time. So it really comes down to the hours of your quality time you spend. So that's really what it is.
Yes.
Because even the weekends, at least here in New York, you got things you have to take, the oldest son to tennis tournaments. You got to do things that you want to do for yourself. So it's
Yes, but well, as far as I can hear your story, everything that you do, whether professionally or for yourself, everything is related to activity. Sometimes just mental and physical, but it's all activity. And that's, I
correct.
think, the key of the success, because a lot of people just think that, well, no, I just need to rest now, and they just sit and do nothing. But here we
Well,
can clearly see the pattern. You go home, you don't do nothing, you go cooking. You want to
it's
relax, you want to start the day, you go training. You want to take
correct.
yourself out of the, well, stressful environment, you go play tennis.
And I for me personally, for someone it might be like, go to sleep or rest or meditate or do yoga. For me personally, it's activity. Action really takes my mind off immediate stress and pressure.
Hmm.
That's for me, like I shift my focus onto something else that I enjoy doing. I like to eat delicious meals, and going to restaurants is nice, but to really prepare your own food, it's I find it fascinating. Like you look at
Yes.
your own piece of meat or fish, and then you try to make something nice out of it. So you research different recipes. It's a lot of fun, and then as you do it, you have your wife with you, and it becomes also a social, um,
Hmm.
kind of family gathering. You try things together, so it's it's pretty. it's a good exercise, that I really
It
enjoy.
is,
And
yes.
then when the food comes out good, it's double enjoyment. You didn't just spend a good time cooking it, you actually enjoyed a nice meal. So it's a win-win.
Yes, it definitely is. And well, I know what you mean by that. Maybe one day I will go back to cooking, but well, recently I haven't done much of it. But well, we'll see. I have other activities, but that's for another story. But what I wanted to ask you as well is, well, you obviously work with people. When you go play tennis, you play with someone. You meeting people all the time professionally, whether you work with them or they are potential or former clients. Tell me if you see that someone is overwhelmed, that there is something going on and you spotted it, what do you do usually? What's your reaction and what do you recommend to this person that he or she could do to just get a grip and move on with life with a smile on the face? What would you recommend to this person?
Well, if if a person is receptive to what you have to say, because a lot of times, and I'm guilty of it as well, is when something is not going well, and the good people try to, maybe give you an advice or suggest something. Very often, you kind of block it, and you don't receive information, you don't absorb it as well as you should have.
Hmm.
Um, so what I would recommend, and not really recommend, but suggest um, for a person to really understand themselves first, like understand what is it that makes you happy, what is it exactly that makes you upset, like what made you upset? Is it your health? That's struggling. Is it the loved one that's struggling? Is it in your personal life you have issues? I think the first thing first is find out the root, the problem, the root of the
Yes.
problem, and then tackle it from there to really understand. Because, let's say, just to give you an example, if someone is, went out, they drinking, the next day there is this post-alcoholic or whatever drugs syndrome, you're depressed. You as a person, as a grown-up, need to understand that, look, going through withdrawals and I'm moody and I'm not happy. Things affect me more. So you need to be alert that you're not 100% yourself. If you overworked, if you work 15 hours a day for a week straight, you will be pretty edgy. You're gonna be stressed out.
Oh,
So
yes.
you will be snappy. You're gonna have very like short span of tolerance. So you will be aggressive. You might be offending a lot of people around you. And some people try to deal with real problems. They lost a job, so now they have to, find other job. Maybe the new job doesn't pay as well. Maybe now they need to find two jobs, so that they work 20 hours a day, for already a few months trying to catch a break. That's also stressful. So you need to kind of understand, and everyone's at different levels. Someone's going through problems, and I think it's for everyone is different, but first thing first is really like you got to do something, because if you're just sitting and dwelling on it and whatever misfortunes you have, it just will never get better if you're sitting doing nothing to fix the problem. If you're just
That's right.
fixing, if you fixated on dwelling on the issue itself, it'll never be good. Just go do something. You're tired, go to sleep. If you're tired, if you're exhausted, there's nothing you can do, accept it. Try to do something um, better.
Hmm.
If you're looking for a job, keep looking for a job. Don't give up. Um, if you're working and things are not working out, keep pushing. Just don't stop where you are, because where you are at the moment, you are miserable. You're not happy. So you need to get out of that state of not happiness. You need to continuously move forward. That's what I do. That's what works for me. If I'm at a place where I'm not happy, I'm gonna be moving. I'm gonna be looking for something that will give me joy, whether it's a short term or long term. Short term, I'm gonna go work out. Long term, maybe I'm gonna, make a career switch. Maybe, I'm gonna look for, not right now, not that I'm married, but maybe, if I was single, maybe I need to find myself, a life partner.
Yes.
Maybe I'm tired of being alone and I want to settle down and I need to have a family. You got to really look at yourself and choose what it is that you want in life and then go after
Okay.
it. That's
So within all this, because you gave a lot of very interesting examples here, but there is one question that comes to my mind. To find this happiness and go towards this, follow your mind or follow your heart?
I would say both. You can't just follow your heart and do things that are harmful, um,
Mm.
because you might want to pursue something that is not realistic, but you really want it, and what happens is you're just not being honest with yourself because you have to understand the real consequences. You have to understand that, as a grown up, and again, that goes strictly for grown ups that have responsibilities, that have obligations, and we're all have duties, whether it's a parental duties, whether it's, you have to provide, you have to make a living, and sometimes it's very hard to do what your heart desires. You might want to go, on a worldwide trip, because you're tired and exhausted and you want to go traveling, but you have children at home that are hungry,
Yeah,
and you have to provide. You need to get roof over their heads, and you need to put food on their tables. So you can't really, check out and go traveling. That just doesn't make any sense. So there has to be a mind. You have to know what you're doing. You have to understand that what I want and what I need is sometimes two different things. And I guess you'll be very happy in life if what you need, you got what you need, and you're working on what you want. This is like the ultimate happiness. So you have your passion, and you do it, and you make a living, and you're happy. It's a life to strive for.
yeah,
That's what I'm
exactly.
trying to do. Because it can't be both. I mean, it has to be both. It can't be just either one or the other. There has to be a heart. You have to be passionate, and you have to be smart about it. So it's a
Exactly.
balance, I would say. I would
Yes, you
say it's
need to have a
definitely a balance.
certain level of stability to go for extra variety in your life.
Correct. Correct.
That's the way it is. Yes, well, that's perfect. So, well, guys, you could hear in here that, well, whatever kind of person you are, whether you're emotional or analytical, the happiness is somewhere in between. That's where
It,
you need
it,
to head.
it's a balance, in my opinion. It's certainly a balance, because you do need a little bit of struggle too. It's actually fun to struggle a little,
Oh,
and
it
then
is,
and then
yes.
get out of that stage of discomfort, and there is a little ecstasy in it. You get excited by succeeding. So you need that up, but in order to feel that you're up, you got to be down sometimes. So it's
Yes, to see the difference, because if everything is good, well, we don't appreciate how good it is.
exactly. So there's always that up and down component, and when you're up, it feels great. When you're down, it doesn't feel good, but it's what you do when you're down, and also when you do when you're up. So it's an exciting thing, life. So yeah.
Good. So, well, in this case, let's say that someone who listens us now is a young person who would like to will become entrepreneur, whether well in properties like you are or anywhere else. Anyway, someone who really wants to get into business world, whether as a well sole trader, entrepreneur, like I said, or in corporational world, what would you advise to this person? And I just want one piece of advice, no more, just one thing on how to stay sane in this competitive world.
Focus on what you want. Just stay focused on your goal.
Perfect.
Set a goal and stay focused on it. Do not get distracted. Just stay focused. Don't let externality affect your performance.
Perfect. That's fantastic and fantastic advice. And well, people really should remember about this, whichever career they choose, to just know what they want and keep the eyes on the prize. Yes.
Exactly. There is a lot of, I'm a tennis player, so you got to watch the ball. You got to keep your feet moving. You got to watch the ball. You got to stay ready. You got to focus on one shot at a time, keeping the ball alive. That's what makes you good. That what makes you effective. Not like you might go for big shots or whatever. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. There is wind, there is sun that bothers you, but you gotta focus, keep your eye on the ball, stay focused, know what you need, know what you're going after, and just go for it.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that. And tell me, because I know I have a wide demographic listening to the podcast. So maybe somewhere among the listeners who are listening to us now, there is someone who's interested in buying property in New York. Maybe there is someone who wants to sell a property in New York. Or as a matter of fact, anyone who's interested in what you are doing and how you're doing it, if they wanted to get in touch with you, how to do it?
Well, you can always email me directly. You can call me directly. There is WhatsApp number I can share with you. My email address is public knowledge, so to speak. Michal, I can just easily share my number with you. You can post it,
Perfect.
with your podcast, and if people have questions, they can just reach out directly. Email,
Yeah,
call,
sure,
text, you know.
that will be done. Then, I include in the description of this podcast or video, wherever you listening to it or watching it, I'm going to include contact details. So guys, if you want to contact Alex, yes, look into the description and get in touch with him directly.
Sure, I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to connecting with anyone.
Fantastic. So, well, in this case, Alex, thank you very much for your time. It was
Michal,
really
thank you so
great
much.
talking to you. Well, of course,
Sure.
we're not talking a first time at all. We've been talking before and we will be talking again. However, thank you very much for this interview. Thank you very much for sharing your wisdom, your experience, and supporting all those who are actually, well, maybe struggling at this moment, struggling because of the stress of pressure, maybe even depression. Because what you said is important, is something to remember, and it's something that, well, shows that it's working because of your achievements, because of where you are now, what you've done in life. That's why it has even more value, and that's why I like to talk so much with well, experienced professional like yourself.
Thank you so
So
much, Michal. Thank you,
thank you
everyone.
for being here and looking forward to talk to you again. Take care.
Anytime, anytime. Thank you, Michal.
Bye bye.